Lily was born on this day, and so we are celebrating her birthday, and on not only her birthday, but we are having a campaign celebration because Lily is running for District 72 State House seat. So give her a big round of applause. Now, let me take care of just a few things, housekeeping, that we need to know. Raise your hand if you registered at the registration table. Raise your hand. If your hand is not raised, you need to go over there and register, please. Now, another one. How many of you do not have a ticket for the drawing? Raise your hand. All right, we will get you a ticket for the drawing. I have a few right here. Right here is a few. All right, so everybody's going to have a ticket. Now, what we're all right. The Vanna Whites of Grand Rapids are going to hold one of the paintings that we're going to be drawing for. So there's about 5 or 6 paintings that were donated to the campaign, and if you're a lucky winner, you are going to win one of these paintings. So when you have a chance, come into the table and look at the paintings that we have. Maybe what we're going to do is, if your number is drawn, you come to the table and you're going to have the opportunity of choosing your favorite painting. Now, when does this happen? At the end. And you must be present to win. Got that? All right. All right. So I think we have everything in place now. We have all the housekeeping. The food will be served after we have the program. Now let me tell you what's going to happen a little bit, because you don't have a copy of the program. All right, so I am going to introduce the next speaker, and then she's going to introduce Lily, and then she's going to speak, and then we're going to have a little celebration. We're going to have a cake. All birthdays have a cake, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to have a cake. And we have these beautiful flowers that you see here and at the registration table. Compliments of Bingoe, Eastern Floral. And the featured flower, if you look... Now, I forgot to ask this. How many of you are wearing a button? Look around your table, and you will see that we have buttons. Lily, and the Lily is there. So when you go vote and when you campaign for Lily, you're going to use this line. Lily for change. Can you say that?
Lily for change.
Again.
Lily for change.
I can't hear you.
Lily for change.
Again. Lily for change. All right. So when you go campaigning, that's what you're going to tell your friends, your relatives, your church people, people that you see in the street. Lily for change. So when they go to the voting polls, they will look at up and down the ticket, and then they're going to see Lily, and then her 2 last names. All right. So everybody's wearing a button now, right? All right. Boy, you all are very good. Very, very good group we have here. Lily, how lucky we are. We have a very good group out today. Very nice. And look at, we'll be blessed with beautiful weather. And let's pray that voting day, when is the voting day?
November 3rd.
November 3rd. From what time to what time?
7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Right. 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Got it right. I know you're awake. All right, so now let me introduce to you our guest speaker, Senator Winnie Brinks. Now, Senator Winnie Brinks was a House member, like what Lily is going to be, before she became a senator. Now, she served the three terms, 6 years. Now, the House will serve in twos. 2 years, and then they have to campaign again, and then 2 years. Every time, for 3 consecutive years, 3 consecutive 2 years, and then their term limited. And then at that point, Senator Brinks decided to run as senator, and then she will serve two 4-year terms. So she will serve 4 years, and then she has to run again and win. Of course, she's going to win. All right, so who is Winnie Brinks? Now, Winnie Brinks is Dutch descent. Now, she is from the state of Washington, far, far away from here. But she came to Calvin College. She attended Calvin College, and she ended up marrying here in Steve. His name is Steve. And they have 3 beautiful daughters, all productive citizens of this great state, this great community. And so when Senator Brinks was growing up, her parents ran a dairy farm. So she learned what it is to have, to be in hard work. Her father passed away, so then her mother had to take care of the dairy farm. And so I'm sure that Senator Brinks had to do some of the work in that dairy farm at some point. So those experiences are what taught her what it takes to be a successful State House member and as successful now as a senator, because you have to know what hard work is. Now remember, in the House when she served and in the Senate, the Republicans were in power. So that means that she had to work triple hard to be heard. But she didn't let that deter her determination and commitment to our community. So I would like you to help me. Get on your feet, please. Everybody on your feet. Help me welcome Senator Winnie Brinks to the podium. Let me hear it.
Muchas gracias, Lupe. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. They were very kind. And thank you, everybody, for coming today. It takes a lot of guts and it takes a lot of bravery to put your name on a ballot. I know that from personal experience, and I know Emily Bridson is here. She's a city commissioner in Kentwood, and she is also had that experience putting her name on a ballot, and we're glad you joined us today. Am I missing any other electeds? Well, Lupe failed to say this. Lupe Ramos Montigny, in case you didn't know the full name, also hyphenated, but she is on the State Board of Education. So she is elected statewide, and she is one of very few ever from West Michigan who's elected statewide. So we were very, very proud of Lupe. I see Scott in back too. Scott knows what it takes to put your name on a ballot, and we thank him. Not this year, not this round, but other times, right, Scott? But anyway, Lily has really stepped up this year, and she has decided to take a stand for her values. I first met Lily, I think it was probably about 4 years ago, maybe a little bit less. And she was just out and about, and every time I would go to an event, I would see Lily. It was an event about the environment. It was an event about inclusion. It was an event about politics. It was an event about women's issues. Lily was there every single time. And she was always coming up and wanting to talk with us about important issues in the community and how they impacted the people around her, her neighbors, her family. And from the very beginning, it was very clear that Lily has a great heart for people, and particularly became very active on issues of special education and inclusion. And I continue to see her do all of that work. in her everyday life, and those are the kinds of things that she has chosen to emphasize in her campaign as well. And that is just exactly the kind of voice that we need more of from West Michigan in our state legislature. She has proven her willingness to work hard, to show up, and to take a chance. And I would be lying to you if I didn't say that this is a really tough district for us to win as Democrats, because it is. I don't know when the last time this area has had a Democrat represented. It may not be in our lifetimes. So
1993.
Oh, 1988. Okay, so
Yeah.
well, before this version of gerrymandering, maybe. So that's a really good statistic. That's one that you should repeat frequently. Have we ever had a woman represent this district? Do you know that one? Oh, you're now my go-to guy.
I do not believe so.
Anyway, if there's ever been a woman, it's certainly been a very long time. And I would venture to guess that there has never been an Asian American in that seat. So it's high time that we have a more diverse legislature. It's high time we have more women. We've made great strides on that score over the years. And in the state Senate, I'm proud to say we have, in the Democratic caucus, an equal number of men and women for the first time in the history of our state. The House Democratic caucus also achieved that distinction in the middle of this term, slightly after the Senate Democratic caucus. So the Democrats have made great strides there. On the Republican side, they have a long, long way to go. And so that's one of the reasons that I'm part of the Democratic Party, is because of that kind of inclusion, because they understand the value of having all of the voices at the table. They understand that everybody deserves that kind of representation. And Lily will not only bring that kind of representation to the state legislature, but she will stand up and speak for the people whose voices are not heard there. And so that's really the reason why I'm supporting Lily. Her voice is important, but so is the voice of everybody in this district. And right now, they're not being adequately represented. The person who has this job now, who she is running against, is a libertarian. He barely believes that government should exist at all, let alone exist to serve the people it's supposed to serve. So the difference could not be more stark in this time in our history where it is so urgent that we have honest, hardworking leadership in the halls of power in our capital here and in Washington, D.C. And that couldn't be more clear than it is now. And I think this is a historic moment. And Lily is working very, very hard to make sure that she is in the best position possible so that we can take advantage of any sort of tailwinds that we get from the rest of the ticket. But she's also going to need you to do some work for her. Lily, is there somebody who is organizing your door knocking?
Yes, over there.
Over there. It's that registration table. Remember when Lupe made you raise your hand to see if you had signed in? We need you to sign in so that you can help Lily get out the vote, so you can help Lily tell people about who she is and why they should vote for her. You should help her do that so that she can draw that contrast, so that people know that they do have a true choice of somebody who will actually represent them. But she can't do it by herself. She needs people to knock on doors. If you don't want to knock on doors, that's fine. If you want to make phone calls or make texts to friends and neighbors or to a list that she gives you, that's great too. She also needs you to give her a few of your dollars to help pay for things like mail and to help pay for things like literature and those beautiful red and blue signs that I'm seeing all over the place. So that's what you can do to help Lily. That's what you can do to help your community be heard and to help all the voices that Lily is speaking for be heard. So with that, I would like to hand it over to the woman of the hour. She has, obviously we've sung to her already, but it's a wonderful thing that we have to be able to celebrate with her today. To be able to show our support to her is probably one of the most wonderful birthday gifts she could receive this year in an election year. And I know that you already know her and love her and understand her commitment to her community. And I would love to give her an opportunity to say a few words and to further inspire you to help her get over the finish line November 3. So help me welcome Lily to the podium.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and thank you, Winnie, for the introduction. And so I am Lily Cheng-Schulting. That's how we pronounce the name, and I am running for state representative in District 72. And we are currently facing many problems. We face social problems and economic, environmental, and racial problems in our society today. And it is in the midst of these problems that I am also a human rights and disability advocate. And my commitment in running is to ensure the highest quality of life for everyone in our district and in our state, and that includes people of color and people with disabilities and people from the working class or anyone who is vulnerable. I actually had started about 5 years ago as a disability advocate because there were attempted cuts to my son's special education school. And along the way, I created a nonprofit called the Disability A-Team of West Michigan. And I also led a movement which resulted in 9 special education schools changing management from a single school district to the much larger Kent County ISD. And what that meant for thousands of students and teachers, and they have been happy with this change, is that they've received more funding, they've received therapists of all kinds, they've received computer equipment, communication devices, an extended school year, which is year-round school, available to more students. And so that is many thousands of students and teachers who have been happy with that change. And my thought is, if that's something that we can do at the local grassroots level, imagine what we could do together at the state level to help people who need the help. Then, so in addition to my skills and my experience, I am also an immigrant. I was born in Taiwan, and I immigrated to this country with my family when I was 3 years old. We have faced prejudice through the years, and that is why I never want to see anyone face prejudice or discrimination or injustice or racism because of the color of our skin. And I will fight fiercely for everyone who is a person of color or who is different in any way. In fact, I think no one would fight harder for people of color than an advocate who is also a person of color. So I would hope that you can join me in this effort to win this seat. We will flip this seat. We will win it. We strongly stand. We have a strong chance already. And I have been canvassing from Kentwood all the way down to Wayland. And I have had conversations with many people, and I find that it's not whether people are Democrat or Republican that matters. I find that we all care deeply about each other. We care deeply about our neighbors. And therefore, I think we can work together. That's what should happen. That's how we can create solutions and we can create positive changes. When we listen, and I will listen, and we will work on a solution together. We will negotiate together. And that is an amazing thing for everyone. So, yeah, come, and again, if you haven't registered, go to the registration table. I would love to have you canvass with me. I love canvassing. I love jumping in front of cars and talking to people. You can join me anytime you want. And, you know, busy intersections, I love that. Again, stand in the middle of busy intersections and let's stop those cars together. We will make this happen, whether it's by talking to people, dropping literature at the doors, or phone calls or texts. And yes, I do need your help with any type of funding, because we will be sending out mailers to over 30,000 people in the district. Probably a lot more, I'm assuming. So yeah, thank you so much, and yeah, let's flip this district and let's create real changes to help people who need it throughout the district and the state.
Okay, now we said it's Lily's birthday today. In fact, you're attending Lily's birthday bash, right? All right, so let's end this segment with a bash. All right, let's have the cake.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lily. Happy birthday to you.
Are you 10? Are you 20? No? Okay. She's 20. She's 20. All right, let's hear it for Lily.
There we go.
Okay. Lily, you're going to cut the cake.
Mom, you want to patch it?
Yeah, you want to pat it. All right, now, where's Philip? Philip is going to just exhort the remarks that Senator Brinks made, and that is how important it is to get to the polls. Now, he is from the Vietnamese community, and he's going to introduce himself and tell you why he thinks it's so important to go out and vote. And if you can vote for Lily, of course you're going to vote. But if you can't, you're going to go encourage 10 more voters to vote for Lily. Do you know that Lily won every precinct in the Democratic primaries in her district? That is unheard of. Now, when they say you can't do it, en español decimos, sí se puede. Yes, we can. And that's what Lily said and all her followers. So she won the primaries. It was a big surprise for a lot of people. But we're so proud of you, Lily. Determination, and commitment. All right, now here we have Philip. And let's give a big round of applause to Philip because he got the sound system to work.
Yeah.
All right, Philip.
All right, hello everyone. I tell you that I did not know that I have to speak. I was asked, can you take care of the sound system? I said, yeah, I will try. I'm here, and when Luby asked me, can you do the sound system? I said, yes. When she asked me, can you say a few words? I say yes. Now, I tell you a quick story. As I walk out my home this morning, my daughter go like, Daddy, where you going? I say, I'm going doing volunteering work. I'll be home about 5. She go, like 5 hours? I say, yes. And as I walk out, she go like, volunteering suck, isn't it? And as I drove here, I said, you know what is more really shocked is that we don't volunteer or doing something about it. Now, I came from Vietnam about 40 years ago as an orphan after spending years in refugee camps. Nothing but a plastic bag and a sandal on my feet. I built my business, I have my family here. I now a father of 9, okay? 3 of my own, 6 foster kids. So in my home, we have 3 American-born, but 8 immigrant. My wife and I, and 6 foster kids. 4 of them come from Eritrea, a country in Africa, and 2 of them from Honduras, okay? So my family is pretty much international. Now I'm here, just so you know that I am a lifelong Republican since I can vote. This will be the first time I vote for Democrat. I have been a Republican, Abraham Lincoln Republican, but not a Donald Trump Republican. That's a difference. That's a difference. Okay? That's a big difference between Abraham Lincoln and Donald Trump. And I don't want to go any further. But what we want to do here is, I'm here not because of Lily is an Asian American. Okay? I'm here because what she stands for and what our country stands for. Look at this room. We have white, we have Hispanics, we have Asian, we have black. This is called United States of America. Okay? The route that we go into this country right now, there's no united, it's divided. Okay? So Lily, please remember when you get to Lansing, remember those that, really, those who don't have a lot of money to put in the campaign, those a lot of money, you don't have a lot of lobbyists working for them, those are poor and broke, those are immigrant, those are really what it is in our community. Okay? Remember, Kenwood is first city in the whole state of Michigan that open, acknowledge immigrant friendly. So this is a proud city that we have, and make sure you represent who we are, and please do something about it, okay? Vote your heart out, go out, get people to vote for Lily, okay? Because the change we can do and change we must. Thank you.
All right, well, that concludes this part of the program. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. What is our tagline? Lily for change. Again?
Lily for change.
Lily for change. This is a historical campaign. She is the first Asian in our community that is running for such a seat. And she has the courage to put her name out. It is difficult to run campaigns. And it is more difficult if you don't support her. But if you're here, I know it's because you support her. So with that, we're going to have some food. Monica Sparks, County Commissioner Monica Sparks, provided the food for us today. There's water at your tables. There's more water that we have in the back, so drink all the water you want. And we have juice too. Cold, cool juice. So, again, thank you so much. Give yourselves a big round of applause. You're amazing. Thank you.